রেখে দাও.
We're live.
So India wins, but that's not relevant. What is relevant? Shubman Gill, debate settled. Rohit Sharma, former concern, question mark. All my guests, Shubhayan, Gargi, Devashish, Shomik, Bharat. Let's start with Shubhayan. Shubhayan, the report that we were continuously sort of reporting about Gill, the updates, the news that he will play, is being proved right. And it's conclusively now there that Shubman Gill is ready for Adelaide. That's question one. Question two for you is Rohit's former concern. Again, a wide chase outside off stump. Could have easily left that ball, could have played 50 more balls at least. Is that a worry? Shubhayan Chakraborty.
Of course, starting from Shubman Gill, I think we all have consistently reported here from Australia, be it Devashish, Rohit, or myself, that Shubman will return. We reported when he removed his bandage, when the strapping was not visible on his thumb, and as soon as that strapping was removed, there was utmost confidence within the team management that he's progressing well for his match fitness, and then he batted yesterday, and then today he looked absolutely fine. And what a fine knock it was, coming back after an injury, playing his first game on Australian soil in this series, and that too against pink ball. I think it was a fine half century. Some of the shots were truly mind blowing. Typical Shubman Gill shots, those short arm jabs, playing bounce, playing the rising ball pretty well. And the best part is his defense. He looked very compact with his defense as well. Unlike Rohit Sharma, that shot could have been completely avoided. I mean, we all were. I think everyone will agree, and even those who are watching, that as soon as Rohit gave his bat away and chased that ball for that, and that drive was even half. That was a half-hearted drive which he went after. So it was a bit disappointing to see that. But hopefully, after this dismissal, he will work pretty hard in the coming days when the team arrives in Adelaide, and during the net practice also, because India needs Rohit, an informed Rohit Sharma, of Rohit Sharma, who is scoring runs, who is belting the opposition out. And but the biggest takeaway has been Shubman Gill's fitness, Shubman Gill's form, and even the way Yashasvi and Nitish Kumar Reddy batted today, Buryada.
Yeah, I mean, I was coming to Jaiswal and Reddy, but quick comment from all of you. Shomik Chakraborty, why don't you go? Shubman Gill clearly looked good. Some of the shots, 40 to 44, Lloyd Pope over off. He was gradually getting into confidence. Shomik, take it over before I go to Bharat.
I mean, see, the Australian pitches, he would like to bat on those Australian pitches. The way he plays Australian pitches suit him. And basically, he can play on the up, he can time the ball well, and he's pretty comfortable. So once he is fit, once he is cleared of his thumb injury, then obviously Shubman Gill, and it was important that he could go get some good game time. He got that, and he will bat at number 3 in Adelaide. And once again, we got a glimpse that what in this match we got a hint what India's batting order is going to be in the second test.
Bharat, your thoughts? But just so you guys know, I mean, the Gukesh Ding Liren match is also very interestingly poised. Very intense match going on. I was actually watching that for the last 1 hour. Looked to be a draw. That's when Gukesh refused it and moved his queen. And that's when the match became more intense with Ding. And then Gukesh walked off. He just walked off, making it more interesting. But we'll come back to chess. Bharat, your thoughts?
Yeah, Shubman Gill, that's a very good sign for the Indian team that he's fit and also he scored some runs. Yeah, it's a very good in Australian when it comes to Australian conditions. Shubman Gill has done well in the past. We know about that Gabba test. Yeah, he has maybe against Scott Boland. Maybe when it comes to the pink ball test, he might have an issue or two. But his game is in currently is in. I think is doing well, and it looks like he's in good form. So these are good signs. Yeah, Rohit Sharma's form would be a concern. One has discussed before that when it comes to Rohit Sharma, it perhaps comes down to the fact that because he's out of his batting rhythm, He needs to play out a few deliveries, even if it means he looks a little bit ugly at the crease. That's fine. Just needs to play out a few overs. That will help him to get those. What can you say? Help him to pick those cues of the bowler. That's the main factor. That is what he's not able to. He's trying to play shots. That means he's not trusting his defense much. That is a question mark on his batting. Hopefully, at least in the opening test, I don't think he should open, but at least the opening, at least in second test in Adelaide, he will come good at number 5 or number 6 or that kind of a slot.
Devashish, then very pleased with Nitish Reddy. Clearly looks the part and gaining in confidence with every game. I mean, Perth has done him a world of good, and today his body language that was evident. Devashish.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's more balance to that squad. Means someone walking into the bat at number 7, and if he can take the attack onto the opposition bowling, means that itself means obviously with that second new ball, then automatically it paves back the opponent the bowling attack, and so and it's heartening to see someone like a. And if you look at the lower middle order batting, means obviously I won't say lower middle order, right from Rishabh Pant and Nitish Reddy. These two now coming good means it augurs well for India, especially because but the only concern for me is the form of Rohit Sharma, because clearly that shot was not called for. I mean, chasing a ball way outside the off stump. So and I tweeted as well. Rahul looked far more superior in this tour so far among the Indian batters. Means all the 3 innings except for means he was controversially given out in that first innings in Perth, and so far he looked the batsman in form. So I really feel that he should be persisted with in the opening slot, and Rohit might come do good in coming in at number 5.
Rahul playing that extra tad late, Gargi, just that extra second late, microsecond late, and Rohit, there was no reason to chase that. Next few days, very important for Devashish and Shubhan to report exactly what is going on in practice, because the focus for the next few days will have to be on Rohit Sharma. How much he bats at the nets, where is he batting, what kind of batting, how much is he kind of focusing, who's bowling to him, all of these questions. But Gargi, are you worried about Rohit Sharma? I mean, 1 innings, yes, we know, first competitive game in Australia. Are you worried, or this is just a one-off? Because clearly that shot was not on today, Gargi.
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit of a concern because you have to think about the fact that of course it's the first game of the series for Rohit Sharma. He's been there for 2 to 3 days now, not much, not a long time. He's hasn't practiced as much as the others. So you think of all these things and think that okay, it can be a one-off game, but at the same time, when you look back on the past 2 Test series, you haven't seen a lot of significant or consistent runs coming out of Rohit Sharma's bat, and that's something you want to see from the skipper, and something you want to have from an opening batter in a Test series. So when you think of all these things, when you look at the larger picture, when you look at the larger sort of form that Rohit Sharma is in from the past few Test series, you start getting that doubt that is Rohit Sharma in good form. Are we going to see some runs coming out of his bat? So I think at this point it is a little bit concerning for me personally, because if he's going to be opening in this series in the BGT, we need something we need something like what we saw from Yashasvi and KL Rahul. That's the kind of foundation that you need in Test cricket, especially against an opponent like Australia. I know they haven't been doing too well, but at the same time, you can't be underestimating a team of that quality, and you always want as many runs on the boards as possible, and that is only possible when your opening partnership is a solid one.
When after today, when Jaiswal looks the part, KL Rahul looks excellent, is that debate settled? Or do you still think there is a debate there? After today, when Rohit is not really looking that part, do you want to give Australia that opening at the top of the order? Or do you think that opening debate is now settled? Shubhan.
I think with KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal looking so compact, see they were also beaten. They were also going after their shots initially, and they had their share of luck. The ball missed their edge, and this is what sport is all about. And and you ride your luck sometimes. And after that, Yashasvi Jaiswal took the opportunity with both the hands. KL Rahul looked extremely solid after until he got retired. Retired means he got back into the dugout unbeaten. And after that, same with Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill also had his share of luck initially, but continued to play his shots. Rohit, and the worst part about that Rohit shot is that it was not a full-fledged drive. He did not went full out, all out with that. It was just a flash of the bat within a half-hearted effort, and that was something which is extremely disappointing. But KL Rahul, Yashasvi Jaiswal, I think I said that in our morning show also, that BCCI video where they both talked about their partnership, their camaraderie, with Yashasvi saying KL Rahul guided me beautifully throughout the innings. KL Rahul said that Yashasvi's youth and his ability to score, his willingness to score runs out there was something which also made me stay out there and keep grinding out. So I think they are gelling extremely well. They are complementing each other extremely well. And with Rohit Sharma not scoring, not in the best of his form, I think there could be a thing that come down the order when the ball is not swinging much, when the ball is not doing much, and play your natural game what you have been playing in the last year or so. Go attack the Aussies, play a counter attacking, not something which Nitish Reddy did today. That even Washington Sundar laid down the order did today. If you can't score big runs, give us 30-40 runs in that lower middle order or middle order, and help India push for a win. I think 30-40 runs against the pink ball is as good as anything. If Rohit can do that, batting at number 5, number 6, then I think that would be good enough for the Indian team. But right now, I have my doubts with Rohit Sharma against the new ball. That is where the concern is. But again, in the coming days, we will report what Rohit Sharma is doing at the nets and how he's trying to manufacture his game around the pink ball. His defense was pretty good. He was playing very tight, very close to his body. But that flash, I think that is something which he has to curb his instinct on. That is all an instinctive shot that I can go and reach for that shot.
Patience. Isn't that Devashish said? Ultimately, it's patience. You just got to leave. That's what the Rohit Sharma of 2021 was doing in England, and the ball wasn't close to his body. It wasn't that they got him an edge or he got bowled. This was a rank ball outside off. That's where his patience will be tested. The other one, Devashish, Washington Sundar, Ravindra Jadeja, both in contention. Yes, horses for courses. You played Washington Sundar at Perth, but Ravindra Jadeja equally good with the bat. That's another option that he gives you. Is that something that the Indians will look at? You reckon, Devashish Sen? Washington Sundar versus Ravindra Jadeja?
I would still go in with an Washington Sundar because he looked good, and yes, one might argue that Jadeja brings in a wealth of experience, but at the same time, Washington Sundar, and so far in this test, in that first test, has looked good, and so I would rather stick with Washington, and he did nothing wrong, so as to means obviously in that series against New Zealand as well. So I would rather stick with Washington Sundar rather than disturbing that balance. In that too many chopping and changing is not good for the team. Yes, already you have two players who would be making their walking into the side with the likes of Captain Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. You don't want another one just for the sake of changing. Washington Sundar has done nothing wrong so as to be left out of the side. So let's stick with Washington Sundar. Give him that confidence because you have to give these youngsters the confidence to come good. Until and unless you give them at least a couple of test matches, then one test match failure doesn't make you a bad cricketer, or one test match success doesn't make you a great cricketer. So I would rather stick with a Washington Sundar ahead of a Ravindra Jadeja.
Where do you stand on this, Bharat? Because Devashish makes a very sensible point there that Washington Sundar hasn't done anything wrong whatsoever. Before I ask Shomik, Bharat?
Yeah, my views are quite similar. See, if you go back to that Perth test, when needed, he played well with the bat. Yes, when he got a long spell in the second innings, when he got a long spell, he was able to impart some drift, get some revs on the ball, picked up a couple of wickets. You can argue by saying they were lower order batters, but we didn't do anything bad with the ball. He bowled with control and he imparted revs. So whatever was expected of him, he did that in the second innings. So when he has not done anything wrong, it is difficult on. It is also unfair on Washington Sundar for him to be dropped. And also, if you look at the Australian conditions, the way he bats, he's a top end player. Raises. He's someone who can get on top of the bounce against the fast bowlers. So that also goes in kind of shows his strength. It's also a key strength for him. So when you consider all those points, all those pointers, I guess India can continue with the Washington Sundar because it's a marginal decision in a pink ball test. It's not like it's a massive decision that you pick one spinner out over another spinner. So I will stick with Sundar only.
A lot of people asking where Rohit Juglan is. Rohit is in the press conference. So yes, he's our reporter on ground in Canberra. He's reporting the press conference, which you will see in the Hindi side straight up and in the English side soon after this show. So Rohit is in the press conference. He will report that, and that's why the rest of us are on the show. You will soon get that. Gargi, Akashdeep versus Harshit Rana. That was the other debate. Do you have any kind of choice there? Because Harshit Rana bowled very, very well, making another strong case. Some of his balls were excellent. Akashdeep started out well. If you see that first spell, your thoughts on Akashdeep and Harshit Rana?
Another headache for the selectors, because you can't choose at this point. But at the same time, Harshit Rana gave you consistent performances. Now he was brilliant in the first test. He was brilliant today as well. Yes, he went for a few runs, but he got you those breakthroughs. He got you 4 breakthroughs today, and that's what matters. Sometimes you go for runs, but wickets. And he's been consistent. He's been very consistent. So I think when it comes to Akashdeep versus Harshit Rana, I would still pick Harshit Rana in this debate.
Can I just add a
Shobit,
point on
latest
that?
on that? Yeah.
Just one point can I add on Harshit Rana. Yeah, I think he's also a quick learner. If you notice how he has bowled in this particular series, in this match as well, he was bowling short of length. Yes, he gets lift from a short of length, but he was getting hit. After a while, he's just pushed his length slightly further because there was movement, and then ended up with the wickets after a break. So that shows he's also a very quick learner alongside having that kind of attitude for a fast bowler. So Harshit Rana has shown enough potential when you look at his potential to again be considered for the second test.
Shomik, in all, except Rohit Sharma, if you take a look at that side now, there is a kind of a settled look. Shubman Gill back, Yashasvi Jaiswal in good nick. If you take a look, Virat Kohli back in form, has scored runs, have the confidence. If you look at Shubman Gill, look very good. And then Washington Sundar, Rishabh Pant. All of a sudden, India has a settled look to it, except Rohit Sharma. That kind of works well for us going into Adelaide. Shomik.
Absolutely, and that's what a win does to your team. A win does to your confidence. You get that lift, and also I don't want to read too much into Rohit's dismissal today. I mean, he was rusty, and the shot was instinctive. Maybe in a test match which is played in a completely different intensity, he would have shouldered arm to that delivery. So I would, but then again, this has been creeping in as far as Rohit's batting is concerned of late. He is not leaving balls. I think he will work. He's a very experienced cricketer, and he will work at the nets, and he will sort it out. And I mean, as far as and it's obvious he is going to bat either at number 5 or number 6, because if you are to open in the second test, this was the only game, the only practice game India had before a pink ball test. And if we were to open in Adelaide, he would have opened in this innings. Now that he hasn't opened in this innings, it's pretty obvious the team management is not tinkering with the opening combination. Rahul and Yashasvi are India's openers going ahead in this series. So Rohit will bat at number 5 or number 6. The bowlers would be a bit tired. Also, the ball would be softer, and the initial spice would be gone. I wish Rohit, as you said, I we all wish Rohit gets back to his 2021 mode when he was leading the ball, and I back him to do that. I'm not reading too much into his today's dismissal. And one final thing regarding Washington Sundar and Ravindra Jadeja in Adelaide Oval, you got to play an off spinner. I mean, traditionally, you usually don't go without an off spinner. in Adelaide Oval, a ground which has the longest straight boundary in the world. So I don't see Ravindra Jadeja will have to sit out what he will play.
Shubham, Scott Boland, did you kind of, I was observing very closely. The Indians were pretty okay, and the fact that they bowled Scott Boland was a little surprising for me. That they now that they will play him in, in Adelaide. Your thoughts on India versus Scott Boland? The openers were okay, except the first couple of overs when there were a couple of playing and misses, which is very natural against any bowler in Australian conditions. But overall, I thought was okay, Shubham.
Yeah, I think he did not trouble any of the batters much. Although I think the Australian team management would have wanted to check on his fitness by giving him 10 overs. Now that they have a good 5 days gap, I think they would have wanted to check on his fitness as well, and that is similar to what Indian team management is doing with Mohammad Shami right now. But Scott Boland, I think he looked pretty ordinary, if I have to put it like this. He was not troubling the Indian batters much. There was a lot of hullabaloo against around Scott Boland and his average and his economy rate in the pink ball. He can still do the damage if he plays the match. But I think today he was taking it easy. I don't think he bowled to his 100%. He was taking it easy. He was going a bit slow. Also, his pace was not up there. He was not zipping the ball around, which he generally does with the red and the pink ball. Plus, as Bharat had mentioned in our pre-match show as well, that Scott Boland's form in the recent Sheffield Shield has dipped a bit. He has not been bowling as lethal as he used to bowl when he made his debut for Australia. So it would be interesting. I mean, Sean Abbott is there. You have Doggett as well. So I think in the coming days, looking at the nets, we'll get a clearer picture of whether it is Scott Boland or you might see if we can see a Sean Abbott or a Doggett making his debut in the test format. So pretty interesting few days lying ahead of us.
Now that the game is over, Gargi, I think Rohit's call of batting second worked because clearly under twilight, India got enough practice when the shadows were lengthening. Not an easy period to bat on. You got 46 overs of that pink ball batting, which in hindsight looks to be the correct call. Your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to all these decisions, I think Rohit has been spot on. He has been spot on for a good while now. One thing he's consistent with is good tactical decisions. I think we've rarely seen him miss when it comes to these decisions in the recent past. So as a captain, I have no doubts that Rohit Sharma is one of the best, even in Test cricket. Even though a lot of trolls and a lot of people on social media have a lot to say about his place in the team, talking about whether or not he will come back and even find a place in the team. He's a captain boss. Look at the decisions that he's been making. Look at the team that he's picked, along with, of course, the coach and the selectors. But still, you can't take that credit away from him.
Bangalore was a howler, though. Bangalore was a howler. I mean, that kind of
Oh
set
yes,
the cat
yeah,
among
yeah,
the
yeah.
pigeons during that New Zealand series. So that's the one fault that Rohit Sharma will have. He did own up to that. That was a wrong call. Having said that, Shomik, Rohit as a middle order bat has been there, done that. Yes, may not have been as successful, but this is a different Rohit. This is a Rohit that is now leader. He will now know that if somehow India gets past pink ball, they have Australia by the scruff of the neck. This Adelaide test could decide this series. It is as important as that, Shomik Chakraborty.
Absolutely, you're absolutely spot on, and I totally agree with it. This Adelaide test is going to be very vital. I mean, if India do well, they would be grabbing the series by the lapel. And Rohit is someone nobody in this Indian team has has experimented with his technique that much like Rohit has done over the last 3-4 years. I mean, sometimes he's tried with an open chested stance with an off stump guard, so many things. And this is also once again a little time for tinkering. The experience he has, I back him to do that. But then again, it's in the mind. It's in the mind. Rohit has to come out of his white ball mindset that he has internalized of late. That I will go after bowling. That I mean, that is harming his red ball game. Rohit has to change it. I mean, at that level, at Rohit Sharma's level, we don't talk as regards as far as technique is concerned. They are good enough, no. But it's about the mindset. He needs to get out of his white ball mindset. And if he can do that, if Rohit Sharma can return to his 2021 mold, then irrespective of whether he's batting opening the innings, or even it's even better if he bats and he is going to bat in the middle overs, and we'll see a different Rohit Sharma.
Devashish Sen, all said and done, even if we say that, Rohit Sharma's form is a concern and all that, when I look at that lineup, Yashasvi Jaiswal, KL Rahul, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, Rohit Sharma, Washington Sundar, and then the bowlers. And I compare that lineup with Perth, and I'm like, oh, what? This Adelaide lineup is so much better. A Shubman Gill and a Rohit Sharma for a Devdutt Padikkal and a Dhruv Jurel. And you've got to say, Indian fans or India will go into this test match feeling much better compared to where it was in Perth. Devashish.
Yeah, that's a hell lot of an experience when it comes to our middle order with the inclusion with Rohit coming in at number 5 or 6 and Shubman Gill now available for selection in the second test going in at number 3. That brings in a wealth of experience and so more headache for Australian bowlers. But I would just like to add what Shomikda said. It was hard. It was. I was quite impressed to see Rohit standing outside the crease, trying to negate the swing bowling because the pink ball will swing much rather than the bounce, what we witnessed in Perth. So definitely Adelaide will offer much more swing with the pink ball. So Rohit standing outside the crease, trying to negate that swing is a bold move, and I am quite impressed with the decision the captain made. Yes, it is unfortunate that he edged the outside delivery, which he could have easily left it. But having said that, at least clearly the mindset is there, means obviously trying to be positive, trying to negate that swing, which most of the batters should in these conditions in Adelaide with the pink ball, because the pink ball will swing much than the bounce. It will be the swing that might cause the downfall for all the batters.
Bharat Ramraj, Nitish Reddy, in your words, was a project. How much has the project improved in Australia?
Yeah, I think his batting is definitely come up by leaps and bounds. One has to always consider that when he plays Ranji Trophy back home, the tracks tend to do quite a bit. So that is why his average, perhaps in the Ranji Trophy, was slightly below par. His batting definitely has come up by leaps and bounds. We could see it even in the IPL. His bowling, I think, is more of a project than his batting. Yeah, he's a decent swing bowler in the Ranji Trophy, but as a four-seamer, I think he perhaps needs a little bit of needs a couple more tools to really get there. If he really wants to take on as the four-seamer or third-seamer in the pace attack, I think that's the only point I would add. But his batting is definitely reached a good level. It's just his bowling that maybe it's still a project. I will just add a point on Scott Boland. Whatever I watched, I think a lot of credit has to also go to KL Rahul. See, one of the ways many say to play out Scott Boland is to negate his nip packer. It was quite clear that KL Rahul was always looking out for the nip packer, and he kind of negated that nip packer. Yes, he tilts his wrist slightly to get it to move the ball away from the right-handed batter, which many right-handed batters don't expect because it's a very front-on action. But his nip packer is his main strength, and KL Rahul is able to negate it, and that is why I think Scott Boland's in his initial spell he got no wickets.
Shubham, take this. Shubham Goel. Rohit is a great white ball captain. Red ball captaincy is questionable, not tested in Sena conditions. Shubham.
No, I think he did quite well with the as in with the field setting. Sam Constance was unbelievable. Let's give it to him. He won the player of the match as well. But apart from that, he was pretty decent with his bowling changes. And today it was all about trying other bowlers as well. He started with Akashdeep. He could have there was no Jasprit Bumrah, so it was all about trying your options and how they are doing. And then even he gave a brief break to Harshit Rana when he was bowling short and then brought him back again. So he has done everything that you could expect in a very normal warm up match, and even the field setting, you could have seen the slip cordon was packed. He was expecting his bowlers to bowl in tight channels, and once Sam Constance was playing that unbelievable knock, he spreaded out the field. He had a third man also, while Constance was just reverse scooping everything that was coming his way. So I think see, against New Zealand, yes, even he accepted that he made some tactical blunders. So let's give it to him also. Let's cut him some slack. Even the best of captains, even Virat Kohli, when he was the Test captain, he made some the blunders with the toss, with everything in the playing 11. Also, MS Dhoni as a Test captain was pretty mediocre in my opinion. So people have done their mistakes, their errors, and that is why they are humans. They are not machines, or they are not robots that whatever they do will be right. So let's cut him some slack. It's his first game, which was a warm up game, not a competitive exact match, which could have done something to the entire series. So let's judge him after the series, not before that. As I was saying about Nitish Kumar Reddy before the series started, you guys were hammering him, hammering Gautam Gambhir for picking Nitish Kumar Reddy, but we said that okay, let's wait, let him play, let him make his debut, and then judge what he does at the test level.
Ravi Shankar Kumar, Sam Constas is a generational talent, boss. Why is he a generational talent already? I mean, how do you know he's a generational talent? I mean, generational is a huge word. I mean, based on 100 in a
He has done
ministerial
well. He has
event.
done well in the under 19 sector, but
Yeah, but
but not
let
based on
him let him
100.
let him prove himself at the elite level. Then you call somebody a
McSweeney was
generational
a
talent.
generational talent a week back.
Which we show. Absolutely. I mean, generational talent.
Nathan Nathan, Mc, Nathan McSweeney was a
McSweeney,
generational talent a week back.
Will Kukovsky was a generational talent for the longest time. Marcus Harris was a generational talent in Australia. Anyway, but Shomik, you wanted to make a point.
No, I'm not going into whether Sam Constance is a. I mean, it's too premature to say is a generational talent. But I'm little confused. Why, when Australia have such a fantastic opening batsman, a specialist opening batsman, why have they brought in a makeshift opening batsman to pair up with Washman Kwaza? I mean, the way Sam Constance played against India A and also this game, it is my opinion that he should be in the Australian team. He should be in the Australian team, and I mean, rather than using a makeshift opening batsman, he could be Usman Khwaja's partner.
Gargi, there is another debate going on here, which says Abhishek Sindhwani now between number 5 and number 6. Why should Rohit Sharma grab the number 5 position of Rishabh Pant? He should bat number 6. So where do you stand on this? Because this is a new debate that has now been floated. How can you take away your best number, Indian Test batters position? Gargi, number 5 or number 6 now?
No, I think the first thing everyone needs to realize is that this was a warm up match. That anything that happens in this match cannot be taken. Is not written in stone. It doesn't. What happened today doesn't mean that it will happen in the Adelaide Test as well. So you have to realize that this warm up matches are all about experimentation, about trying your options, about seeing who is performing, who is acclimatizing to the conditions, and all of that. So just because Rohit Sharma came out to bat at number 5 today does not mean he's trying to, hard up Rishabh Pant's position and selfish and whatnot, and all the things that people say on social media. So this is, calm down, guys. No one is trying to take anyone's position here.
But
Everyone, yeah.
it's a fair point. It's a fair point. But Devashish, where do you stand on this? 5 or 6? Pant 5, Rohit 6, Rohit 5, Pant 6. Where do you stand? Or it's inconsequential? Or does it also depend on the left right? I mean, where do you stand on this, Devashish?
Uh, I would rather go in with the situation of the match. Means depending upon the left-right combination that you just stated. Means yeah, and that obviously when you have a left and right hand combination in the middle, that puts pressure on the bowlers trying to adjust to the line and length. So it will depend on the situation, but given that both are stroke players, and that could cause much trouble to the opposition bowlers if they come good.
Gargi, there's the press conference which Rohit has sent also. This feed is also on Twitter. Okay. So you guys folks can go and watch our YouTube platform in a bit for the press conference. We will put it out. It is from, we can tell you right away, while Shomik can take the question or someone can take a question. Virat Kohli prefers nets. That's a different matter. I mean, this is a match. If he needed to, he's already informed. India needed some other batters to sort of get a kind of look in. This is important. Priyanshu, what's the future of Ashwin? Seems to have been completely overlooked and Sundar has overtaken. Bharat, that's not the case. In away conditions, Perth and Adelaide, kind of alien. When it comes to Melbourne, Sydney, we will have a different kind of look and feel. At home, he's still your number one spinner. However much Washington Sundar could have got more wickets in the New Zealand series, I don't think this is the case. Where do you stand on this?
Yes, it's not like his career is coming to an end or something on those lines, because as you just noted about talked about Sydney and Melbourne, there Ashwin might come into the equation. Point two is, I think Ashwin is still the best when it comes to picking cues out of Stu Smith's what hand patterns. With Stu Smith, it's not just about footwork. You mainly look at the hand patterns. I think Ashwin picks the cues the best when it comes to bowling to someone like Stu Smith. And we saw in the last time around in Australia at MCG, there was moisture around. Everyone thought fast bowlers will come into play. As fast bowlers will come into play in such conditions, but Ashwin also used that moisture to good effect and got a few to grip and got wickets. So I guess maybe in a couple of matches at a CG or a MCG, he will come into the equation. And then at home, Ashwin is still one of your best spinners. Is someone who has variety, has so much of experience. So I don't think it is coming to the end of his career or something on those lines. But when you look at how Washington Sundar bowled against New Zealand, is someone who has come up by leaps and bounds. And considering the overall package, I guess India went with Sundar at Perth.
Shubman, if we kind of look at the schedule between you and Devashish, you all are in Adelaide. Can you tell our viewers what is the plan for tomorrow? Because let's set that up. Rohit Juglan will also join us in a bit, so I'll get a little bit from him on the press conference and what the players said. But you and Devashish, what's the plan for tomorrow? Australia practicing, optional practice, etc., etc. Give us a lowdown for tomorrow.
So there will be a Travis Head press conference to start the day, 12:30 local, means around 5:30 Indian time. You will have the press conference. 5:45 by
Okay.
5:45 you will have.
That's 7 o'clock. So 5 hours. You're in Adelaide. 12:30 means 7:30 India. Piche.
7:30.
7:30. Adelaide is 5 hours ahead. So your 12:30 in the afternoon is 7:30 a.m. in India.
Okay, sorry. My bad. My bad. It's just the sleep that is talking right now. Okay, anyways, yes, in the morning you'll have the Travis Head press conference followed by an optional training session of the Australian team. We are hoping that most of their players will come out to have that session because of the way they have been scrutinized by the Aussie media, former players. Some of their batters are going through a very very poor run of form. So I'm expecting them to come out and have a proper training session. And yes, Devashishda will be there along with me to report on what the Aussies are doing with the photos. We'll have a close look at how far the pitch preparation have gone. Today, the Adelaide Oval was shut. The doors were locked, so we weren't allowed inside. So let's see whether tomorrow we are allowed to cover the pitch preparation, which I think we should be able to. And of course, we'll have a close eye on the nets. Nathan McSweeney, Usman Khwaja, Steve Smith, Marnus Labuschagne is another focal point heading into this Adelaide Test. And of course, I don't think Scott Boland will be there at the nets tomorrow. Let's see whether how Josh Hazelwood is pulling up. He will be with the team, although he has been ruled out, but he will be with the team as mentioned by the Cricket Australia press release. So let's see all the young guys, Sean Abbott and Doggett, Brendan Doggett, whether they are with the team or not, and how many players turn up for the optional session tomorrow, Boria.
Devashish, any update on whether it will be closed door or permitted? Because clearly, yeah, Shomik, 1 second. Before Devashish, because when you are doing a press conference means you are inviting the media. After that, if you all of a sudden
It's not
say
a
no,
closed door.
that won't work. So your thoughts?
It's not a closed door practice. Everyone can attend a practice session, and obviously, huge test match for Travis said is the local boy. I went to Mudbury, the suburbs here in Adelaide, where he is from, and he plays for that club there in Mudbury. And also the Indian team will be arriving in Adelaide around 3:40. 3:40, I'm told by the media manager. So they would be reaching Adelaide around 3:40, and by around 4:15, the team will be at the Intercontinental Hotel here in the city center, which is just next to the Adelaide Oval. So we will be definitely sending you all the visuals of the arrivals, which we have missed so far. Means obviously we were not there in Canberra or in Perth when Rohit and me arrived late. So definitely this will be the first time that we will be actually sending you the visuals that are taken by us, means in person. So Indian team will be reaching in the afternoon in the second half, and as I told, that Australian team will have a optional training session, but it will be an open one.
Shobik, you were making a point.
Yeah, no, I have a question for Shubhan, since Shubhan and Devashish are our man in Australia. This Josh Hazelwood's omission under the pretext of an injury, do you think that is an injury or there is more to it than made the eyes? Because Josh Hazelwood openly criticized the batsman. He came out at the press conference and openly called out the batsman, and something was brewing, sort of. From a distance, it felt like something was brewing in the Australian camp. So, do you think it is? I mean, shall we take that injury thing at its face value, or is there something more that made the eye?
I think it's a side strain which Indian cricket players generally go through. I think that's one question that I want to ask Travis at tomorrow, although he's not the best person to answer it. But I will still try to stir the water and check what is going on, because you are clearly spot on when you say that, after he bowled pretty normally after that press conference. He bowled his complete overs. He was on the field throughout the course of the match, and suddenly during the break period he has a lower grade side strain, which could be a hint on some sort of punishment for openly criticizing the Aussie batter, and the unity among the Aussie batters in that dressing room. So clearly, and even Pat Cummins was asked about Josh Hazelwood's comment in the last press conference, where Cummins said, "I'm yet to look at what he said in the press conference yesterday," and I think after that something must have brewed, and I want to stir the water tomorrow and check what is actually going on with Josh Hazelwood, because he was clearly fit. He was had he suffered a side strain, I don't think he would have fielded for the entirety of the duration of the Indian innings. So something is definitely brewing, and I am on the same page as you, that it is not an injury, is what I feel. We could be completely wrong, but I feel that Australian dressing room is clearly shaken up after those comments, and especially after that defeat.
So,
No,
Devashish,
it's
after
just a
one defeat,
reporter's
you reckon
hunch.
the Australian dressing room is divided? Already there are fissures. Already there are problems.
Then
You
then
smiling.
then
What's
Hazelwood wouldn't have been traveling with the team. If Hazelwood did not have a side strain, and Cricket Australia ECB is the most transparent cricket body as far as I am concerned. Not so with the BCCI. They does not even give it a press release as to what is the status of a player's injury or whatsoever. So they clearly, even obviously, and why should they? Means obviously, someone who has taken 5 for 8 runs in the last pink ball test against India, why would you be leaving him out if he doesn't have an injury? Why start up such things? Obviously, the Travis said will definitely. Means obviously, I don't know, but you won't get any headline from the thing. I think you would avoid such questions, but definitely, Hazelwood will be in Adelaide tomorrow because he is traveling with the team and he is very much a part of the side. It's that, and that's, but come on, these are all speculations.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Where do you stand on this, Bharat? I mean, we love to speculate, but yes, 5 for 8. that kind of makes it an obvious choice. I mean, even if there was 50% chance, they would have played him. I mean, I don't think that's the case, but good Shubhan trying to sort of stir the hornet's nest. That's his job as a journalist. Let him enjoy and do that. But where do you stand on this, Bharat? Last few questions. Gargi, Rohit is also there. If you could send him the link, I would want to know what was said in the press conference and if there was anything on Gill. If there's anything on Gill and Rohit Sharma. So if you could get Rohit Juglan online. By that time, Bharat, your thoughts.
Yeah, see, I watched that his final spell of the first test. It seemed like he was pushing a little more. His pace was down, so he had to push a little more to get it up. So I guess he was struggling a little bit in the final spell of his final spell of the first test. That's how I felt. So he might be that is when I thought he might be carrying some niggle or something on those lines. So yeah, it turned out to be. It seemed like a low grade side strain. That's what I believe so. But yeah, it's good to see that Shubhan was trying to speculate on it. Trying
Even
to
Mitchell Stark was bowling at 130 at the end of his spell.
trying to find out cracks. But it seemed like he was pushing a little harder to get it up to the bat. That is how it felt when I looked at his final spell of that first test.
Folks, before I get Rohit Juglan on, is there any further update on Champions Trophy? Shomik Chakraborty, Shubhan Chakraborty, anybody? Any further update? Yes, Shomik, go for it.
Just a small update that what I have been hearing that Pakistan Cricket Board is pushing the ICC that we need a written guarantee from the BCCI that the next 4 ICC events would be played on a hybrid model. We are not trusting what have been told to us verbally because India can renege on that. We need a written guarantee which makes the entire deal legally binding. They are pushing ICC for that. This is a small update I have.
And if that is the update, we can also say logically, obviously, we've not spoken to the BCCI, the Pakistan Cricket Board can take a hike. Neither the ICC nor the BCCI will ever give that guarantee to Pakistan Cricket Board. If they don't want to host the Champions Trophy, they can get lost. To say that give us a guarantee, you are actually saying that till 2031 political instability will continue. You are actually telling the world that political instability across the border will continue. Are you daft? That you don't want to give peace or anything a chance, that you want a hybrid model for the next 8 years, and you want to say that, oh, we are assuming that political instability will continue and hence give us a written guarantee. Come on. If that is the case, then the International Cricket Council as an institution, as a regulatory governance body, and the BCCI will never, and no board will ever agree to such terms. And if that happens, once again, Pakistan stands to lose face. But if that's the update, that's a very strange one from the BCCI. Rohit Juglan, your thoughts. What did you hear? Anything on Gill? He's completely fine. Rohit Sharma, who came to the press conference, give us a bit of a lowdown. Rohit.
So yes, as we reporting it from very early that Shubman Gill is completely fine. Today he scored that 50. He was looking completely okay, comfortable, no jitterness, nothing, no pain. I was just focusing on his thumb only, that whatever is there, will he be removing his gloves after completing that innings, and watch his thumb after that innings. There was nothing. And there's a video going viral of him and Rohit Sharma just teasing it around and having fun. So there's nothing as far as Shubman Gill is concerned. The second thing is obviously all about the game, and obviously the big discussion will be from here onwards is where Rohit Sharma will play. Will he open? Will he play? Because he batted at number 4. He was designated as an opener, and then on papers he was at number 5. So in Adelaide, basically the picture will get a bit more clear. But I think as part of the strategy, what I am getting is that part of strategy, I think this will be possible that on the match day you will come to know that who's opening from India and who's coming at number 6. Because just pushing Rishabh Pant the position down won't do nice for Team India, because he's again in a good form. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't change any of their batting orders. And after that, you have only one position left, that is number 6. So will Rohit bat at number 6? For the second new ball, as you rightly said, I think 2 days ago, that 80 overs, who survives 80 overs in these kind of day and age where you see that 40, 50, 60 overs maximum as far as the Test cricket one innings is concerned. So yes, but in the twilight phase and in under lights, it will be interesting to see if Rohit Sharma, if you are saying that Rohit Sharma is little vulnerable against those, in swinging and out swinging or with that lateral movement, then again it's going to be a problem, to bat under lights at the twilight phase. So I think it's neither way coming, making sense to me that Rohit play at number 6 or Rohit be somewhere in the middle order. What making sense for me is Rohit playing as an opener. So yes, the confusion will remain, I think, Buryada. I don't think they are giving this out very easily or very soon, that what position Rohit Sharma or what position will KL Rahul will play in. Will they swap their positions, or will Rohit come down, or will KL come down? We will, I think, get to know on the match day, I think, as far as this thing is concerned. And lastly, on Mohammad Siraj, yes, he had a lot of chat, Buryada. I think you'll give us more update on this, because he said that I had a lot of chat with Bharat Arun when things are not going with my way. I was thinking and thinking, and then came up this idea, then let's have a chat with Bharat Arun. He knew me very well, he knew me from my old young days, and he could be the one, who can give me a right advice. And he just said that just enjoy your cricket, bowl according to the plans, go for the wickets, and if you're not getting wickets, don't panic. I asked him the question about, how he thinks, how Bumrah handled him, because suddenly what we saw Siraj doing in India, not getting wickets, everyone was questioning that what happened to him, where's the form, what he'll do in Australia, whether he's your second bowler. Now, suddenly coming here at the Perth, he picked up those 2-3 crucial wickets, and suddenly everyone was talking about, yes, Mohammad Siraj is back. So, it has to be something which Jasprit Bumrah contributed, but a lot of contribution from Bharat Arun, and a lot of contribution from his own analytical thinking, that what can I do to do better from here onwards. So I think credit goes to Jasprit Bumrah and Bharat Arun for that, Buryada. And obviously he said, jokingly, he said that, when you see bounce here, when you see the freshness in the wicket, Hindi mein unhone bola, helmet todne ka man karta hai. So he was jokingly saying that. But yes, the kind of, fearlessness you see in Indian bowlers, especially after that Perth win, is something, it gives you confidence that these guys can do it for you once again.
Bharat Arun had said this to us, that each time Mohammad Siraj has been under pressure, what he's told him is, what did you do in the Ranji Trophy? How did you bowl in the Ranji Trophy? Just think about it and go and do that in Test match cricket. For the first few minutes, there will be pressure, but then just repeat what you have done multiple times in the Ranji Trophy. I'll ask Bharat again what kind of a conversation he's had and come back on that front. But as of now, that's the update. I mean, we've had a pretty long show and a very detailed show at that. Tomorrow morning, Devashish and Shubhan will be at the optional practice. Rohit will be back from Canberra to Adelaide and will join them.
Travis said press conference tomorrow, 12:30 their local time. Travis said press conference, and Team India will reach there, I think, somewhere around 3:20 to 3:30 Adelaide time. Adelaide time.
That's what Devashish said. Yeah, that's what Devashish said. So we will cover that. We will cover the press conference and the optional practice and India's arrival. And we will be back with a morning show at 8:30 our time in India, which is exactly when the Australian optional practice is on. For the moment, that's all we have. Focus on the Ding Liren versus Gukesh match. It's fantastically poised, and that's what I'm going to watch for the next half an hour. Gargi, Shomik, Rohit, Devashish, Bharat, and of course Shubhan, who joined us. To everybody who was watching, thank you very much. And once again, it's our anniversary, our 3rd birthday for Rev Sports. So, wish us and support us and back us. Thank you very much for watching.